We can estimate shrub canopy cover using a line transect by simply measuring the length of the transect that is intersected by shrub canopies. So today we're going to estimate sagebrush canopy cover using this method. When we combine this measurement with shrub height, we get a really powerful indicator of wildlife habitat. So various species require different ages or densities of shrubs. Things like sage grouse require sagebrush to hide from predators, as well as to thermoregulate. So we're interested in this variable when we combine height with cover. So let's give it a try. We've already got a 30-meter transect laid out. I'm going to move along it with this 1-meter stick. And every time I encounter a shrub, I'm going to measure the start and the end. Now this shrub, if I look straight down with my meter stick, it actually doesn't cross the line. So I'm going to simply ignore it. Here's the first shrub that we encounter. And I'm going to make sure, it looks like the tape is actually kind of leaning on the vegetation. I'm going to put it underneath and I'm going to look down at it. Now it looks like this shrub starts at 3.55 meters and it ends at 3.6 meters. So that's just 5 centimeters. Now, a lot of times with this method, we'll skip over things that are below a threshold interval. So if it's less than 10 centimeters, I'm just going to simply ignore it. If we measured every single place stem crossed the line, that would really not add a lot of value to the data, and it would take a long time. So we'll ignore that one. We'll get up to this one. Now our first shrub that we're going to count starts at 9.75 meters and it ends at 10.15 meters. So I'm going to write both those start and end lengths of the transect tape, and when I subtract the end point from the begin point, I'll be left with the length of the canopy that crosses the line. Now I'm also on that same row of data, I'm going to measure the maximum height where it crosses the line. In this case, it's 40 centimeters. And now I'm ready to go on to the next observation. I'm moving down the line, and here I encounter another sagebrush plant. This one, the start point is 12.9. The end point is 13.4 meters. The height of this shrub is 30 centimeters, and it's Artemisia tridentata. And when you're recording species, a lot of times we'll record the plant acronym name. In this case, it would be ARTR. So here's our next observation. It starts at 16.95 meters and ends at 17.15 meters. The height of ARTR is 3.5 or 35 centimeters. Moving down the line, here we actually encounter a different species. So this is Persia tridentata, or antelope bitterbrush. So I'm going to put PRTR for a different species code. And I'm going to measure it starts at, it looks like it starts at 20.05 meters, and it ends at 20.30 meters. And the height of Persia tridentata is 40 centimeters. I'm going to do the start and end of this sagebrush, 20.90 meters, and it ends at 21.15 meters. Now this last shrub we're going to measure gets a little complicated because there's multiple individual shrubs here. So we're not going to count this dead part of the Artemisia tridentata stem. We're going to actually start with the live canopy cover where it crosses. So here we're at 24.3, and for this individual plant that's crossing it, it ends at 24.80 meters. Now that's going to get its own line in the data and its own height, which is 50 centimeters. Now this, even though it's continuous sagebrush right here, we're going to separate these two plants. So this one gets its own row of data, 25.05 meters, 25.3 meters, and the height of this plant is 50 centimeters. And we're going to start up at 25.3 meters because that's where the next shrub starts, and it ends at 25.5 centimeters or meters. So that's it. When we get back to the lab, we're going to basically take the start and end, and we'll subtract those for each row of data, and we'll have the length of each individual shrub where it crossed the transect line. We can take the sum of those lengths and divide it by the length of the whole transect, 30 meters, and that'll give us our percent cover of sagebrush.